Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel called Jess's Journey Colombia Edition. In this episode, we are going to be talking all about shipping and packing. So if you wanted more information about shipping and packing personal items off to Colombia, this is the video for you. So in front of me, I have my computer today because there is a lot of information I want to provide you all with, as well as there will be a slideshow to also give you some more insight as to the cost of shipping and the different methods of shipping. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I want to caution you all that I am specifically speaking about shipping to Colombia. Every country has their own customs regulations, and the cost of shipping also varies from country to country. However, most regulations are standard for many countries, okay? So I really truly advise all of you to do your research. I have provided some useful links below in the description so that you can do your research from country to country. I have also provided a link for Colombia specifically for their customs regulations. Now I want to begin talking about the modes of shipment. There are two different modes of shipment. One is through air freight, through airplane, and the other one is through boat freight, so maritime. So you're shipping either by boat or by airplane. Now there are pros and cons to choosing either boat or airplane, and I am going to discuss those further in just a moment. Here are the pros and cons for shipping by airplane. So a pro is a quicker shipment time. So you're looking at receiving your items at your destination in about 8 to 10 business days, which is really great that you can receive your items in such a quick time. Here are some cons. Shipment cost is usually more expensive. Custom checks are usually way more extensive when it comes to shipment by air. It's also important to note that shipment cost is determined by weight and is approximately 10% higher than if you choose to ship via boat. If you choose to ship by boat, the pros are that the customs checks tend to be a little less extensive, and shipment costs are usually less expensive. However, shipment costs are determined by units of volume versus the weight of the shipment. The main con, though, is that it is a very slow shipment speed, which is about 4 to 5 weeks. So if this is an option you are going to consider, you really need to plan carefully and ahead of time to make sure that your shipment arrives by the time you arrive to the country. Now let's talk a little bit about the cost of shipping. If we're thinking about the cost of shipping, it is on average between 70 cents to $1.50 per pound or unit of volume, which of course varies based on shipping company and the shipping method. Shipment cost by plane is about 10 to 15% higher than by boat. It's also important to note that duties and tariffs are usually based on the total value of the shipment in question. Those values could be determined by the judgment of customs officials on the spot. So, it could be that when your shipment arrives to the country, that customs officials decide to tax or provide you with a duty based on what is inside of your shipment. Now that we have discussed the pros and the cons of air shipment or boat shipment, and we have discussed the cost of those shipments, I would like to talk about some tips, some advice that I have for you all based on my husband and I's experience. Now, we made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I'm gonna share some advice with you so that hopefully you can have an easier time than we did in regards to shipping and packing our personal items. Now, the first tip I have for all of you is Research. I'm sorry, guys. It is a little loud out here. We have an airport right behind us, so sometimes there are planes flying over us. So I am so sorry about the noise. So let me continue. I was talking about my tips. So the first tip I have for you is research. You want to make sure that you are researching the country that you are traveling to make sure that you have the appropriate customs regulations, because as I said in the beginning of this video, it does vary from country to country, although there are pretty much standard. You also want to research the cost of shipping versus the cost of purchasing a new item. So you need to do what makes sense. If it makes more sense to just purchase the new item in the country versus the cost of shipping, then you may want to do that instead. During our research, we decided that for some particular items, it made more sense to purchase them here in Colombia brand new than to pay for shipping costs. Another tip that I have for you all is to ship as much in advance as possible. So a lot of items we decided that we wanted to put in our luggage. They were personal items, or we just didn't feel comfortable shipping them. So we ended up with a lot of luggage. So now that we've been through the experience and we have a better trust for the shipping company that we use, we wish that we would have shipped a lot more in advance versus packing everything with us, because our travel experience at the airport was really crazy, really dramatic, because we had so much luggage with us. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're comfortable sending more items ahead of time via boat or via airplane, then that's a piece of advice that I have for you. You also want to keep in mind when packing your luggage that there are additional costs for every luggage that you pack. So depending on the airline, it can cost you anywhere between $30 and $65 per additional luggage. So again, you sort of need to weigh out the cost of shipping, carrying it in your luggage, or purchasing those items brand new when you arrive here in the country. Some other pieces of advice I have for you is some of the Colombian custom rules. So make sure that you do not have any more than 6 of a brand new item. So that raises a red flag in customs in Colombia. If you have more than 6 of an item, it may appear that you are bringing those items for retail to sell them. So please make sure if you are sending anything brand new that you are sending less than 6 of the same item. Something else you might want to know is that you cannot send any perfume or cologne via shipment. So if you want to take your perfume or cologne, I suggest that you pack it in your luggage, of course in your checked bags. Something else that I would include in my luggage just for safety reasons is cell phones, video games, tablets, laptops. So any electronics that you may want to bring with you, please pack that in your luggage. Sometimes if shipped, something may happen to your electronics, or even worse, you may have to pay a high duty or tariff on your electronics, which may cost more than the electronic itself. So those are some important things to keep in mind when thinking about what you want to ship and what you want to pack in your luggage when you are thinking about bringing your personal items over here to Colombia. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience at the airport with my family. So because we decided to pack a lot of more items in our luggage due to some trust issues with the shipping company, it was our first time, so we weren't too sure of what to expect. It was a crazy experience. So just picture having 5 medium luggages. Remember, those are about 50 pounds each. My husband decided to take his bike apart and carry it in a bike bag. We also had a baby stroller. We had 2 car seats, one for my 4-year-old and one for my 4-month-old. We also had 3 carry-on pieces of luggage, 3 personal items, a baby bag, and I also had a small refrigerator, a small cooler for my frozen breast milk. So I also decided to bring over my frozen breast milk because it was cheaper to bring it on the plane than it was to ship. And of course, there's also some other issues with the breast milk defrosting and not making it to your destination in time, and then the milk isn't useful anymore. If you're interested in how I packed my breast milk to keep it frozen upon arrival, I can also create a video about that if you are interested. So in the airport, when we arrived, we needed to check in all of that luggage, which took a really long time. When we were checking our bags, I want to say we were at the kiosk for like a half an hour to an hour trying to figure out what to check, what we couldn't check, so on and so forth. So again, a major piece of advice I have for all of you is try as much as possible to ship your items in advance using a cargo company, and to pack as minimalist as you can. Now, for those of you who are wondering, well, what did you do with your furniture in your apartment, or what did you do with the items you decided not to bring? A lot of our items we gave to donate as donations, and majority of our furniture and items we gifted to families and friends. But of course, there are other options. You could post your furniture in different mediums to sell them. Selling used furniture is a great way to make up for the shipping costs that you will spend sending your other personal items. So if you are also interested in that, I can also give you some more information about how to sell those used furniture items. So I gave you guys a lot of information today. Again, I have put some helpful links down below in my description, but if you have any more questions, please feel free to comment or send me a private message. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and if you found this video helpful, please give me a nice like button. See you all next time. Bye.